Wednesday's death of a couple in a car accident on Mabushi Bridge in the nation's capital, Abuja, allegedly caused by touts, has sparked widespread outrage among residents. Many are calling on Abuja city authorities to take decisive action against touts who have turned major roads into their hunting grounds. Frank Tete, let's talk about all of this. How can we begin to, number one, address the issue of tax reform at the local government level, address the issue of jungle justice, and, all we're seeing from this incident?
I think it's very offensive to be talking about taxation here.
Right.
When people, where the couple asked to pay a certain tax and then they were running away. The facts that are there, of public knowledge is that they said they parked wrongfully. And if that happened, what did we have all those persons wearing white and black called members of the Department of Road Traffic Service? What they do? Don't they issue tickets and then people, don't they expect the Nigerians will be orderly enough to go and pay whatever fines that they have? At this stage and in this age where the world seems to have left us behind, we're still talking about Stone Age mentality of, holding down vehicles by, with physical hands so that people can pay money. What kind of thing is that? Why do you talk about tax when people are dead? When we have a government in place that all actually, when you look at AMAC, for example, and you say it has a legislative council, and what it does most of the time is to simply churn out new forms of bylaws and whatever, just to collect money, and then without any commensurate responsibility to show that, look, you collect money to improve the life of people. The governance is about order. Governance is about protection, about security. You're not making life hard for people, and you're talking about taxes. So even if you're talking about taxes here, who should collect taxes? So why do we have all this number of employees in government, institutions, and then what you find is to go and import, touts from Lagos State and all over the place. People who didn't go to school, people who didn't try to formalize themselves or get in shape to live a responsible life. And those are the people you now subject responsible people who spend the rest of their lives to comply to laws. You now subject those persons to be punished, to be harassed by all of these elements. Look, we don't appear to be a serious people, and that's the reason why we have always been bedeviled by insecurity that seems to be intractable. No, we shouldn't be talking about taxes here. We should, and then governance should first of all realize its responsibility of providing welfare. This is not welfare. When you talk about taxes, it is welfare when you guarantee the people that their rights will always at all times be respected, and every other time when you collect money, there is a commensurate expression that there is an improvement. In FCT, as we have it today, apart from political statements going on with all sort of things, grandstanding allowed, we know we live here. We know that the quality of life here is low.
Can this couple get justice? Who will give them justice? Who will give them justice?
No, see, it's not a question of justice. Right. You will use the federal government, the government of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to show example, or AMAC, combine all, including police, combine all of them, take them to the appropriate legal forum, and let them pay serious compensation. It has happened before. We have a number of cases where the Nigerian state is held responsible for the crass irresponsibility and negligence of state actors, as we have seen here in the FCT, because the police failed, because the Department of Road Traffic Services officers failed, because the law enforcement community failed in the afternoon in the FCT. We is the seat of power, the barometer where you can measure whether life is good in Nigeria. Because of that crass failure and negligence, before we go to court, let the minister of the FCT proceed on his own to go and compensate them adequately. This is irresponsible and this is wrong. So the example will have to be shown of the federal government in this matter so that we don't have to have this kind of thing repeating itself.
Yes, Frank Tete, you have the last word. Should these touts be brought under some kind of regulatory body? Because there are indications that they actually work in concert with both licensed and unlicensed agents. How do you fix this problem sustainably? So
why should we be talking about touts? Why? Why should we invest so much in formalizing a country, the employment sector, and then we still talk about touts? The IDC.
Touts, aren't they a symptom of a deeper disease?
Of course. And
they themselves are victims.
The political class in our country thrives, to a large extent in disorder. Because if you were to follow what the respected tax gentleman is talking about, monies will not enter pockets that are unaccounted for. So you have to create something outside within the formal sector, and that is why you bring these persons who are lawless, who are actually outside the purview of the law. And so that's the reason why we expect those who operate government to be punished, especially on this particular occasion. The Federal Capital Territory Administration must be held accountable. I look forward so quickly to see that every one of them and the government itself, whether it's an impersonal or the minister himself, be held accountable for this crass negligence. Now, why? The reason is this. We don't have to have taxes, touts, and to think, and I can say this as a witness, for the past 10 years, that we've had a regime of all of these criminals who have been, euphemized as touts, running our streets in this city, not being held, to account. I have experienced a situation where they are even giving police protection. They are even giving one sort of cover or the other because the chairman is interested in the money. He's interested in the money that comes to him. So what kind of thing is that? So look, we have to wake up and realize that we want to run the country and get serious about it, and then let's set the standards and follow them.
All right.